Is CERN closer to the abyss? In a recent article, it was stated that the LHC at CERN is now just days away from breaching higher dimensions. The article states, scientists conducting a mind-bending experiment at the Large Hadron Collider next week hope to connect with a parallel universe outside of our own. The proposed method is to use the LHC to create miniature black holes to breach these higher or parallel dimensions. There is a theory called rainbow gravity theory, sometimes referred to as gravity's rainbow, that, if true, would allow miniature black holes to be created at relatively low energies. The problem with rainbow gravity theory is it also predicts the universe to be infinitely old. Normally in physics, when the solution to a problem is infinity, the solution is thrown out because it is rendered meaningless and nonsensical. In fact, German mathematician Carl Friedrich Gauss denied that anything infinite really exists. He's quoted as saying, Infinity is merely a way of speaking, and I protest against the use of infinite magnitude as something completed, which is never permissible in mathematics." Now, for an excellent examination of the problem of infinity from a physicist, I have a link included in the blog that I'm going to link in the description of this video. So go to the description, click on the link to my blog, and you'll find the link in there. If infinity doesn't actually exist, does that mean that rainbow gravity theory must be inaccurate too? My natural inclination would be to say yes, absolutely, but physicists can always find a workaround. If they're able to create miniature black holes at low energies, they can dismiss the infinity problem altogether, and they've done that many times, and with other things in recent history. And again, for examples of that, check out that blog that I'm going to link. And they could claim that the whole theory is true because by then it'll be tested. Now, eventually it'll become a supposed scientific fact that the universe is infinitely old, and once again, Christians will feel like they have to make a choice between science and religion. Now, this all goes back to what I call observation versus interpretation in my book, Quantum Creation. Scientists will sometimes group their beliefs about a fact along with the fact, and then they'll call the whole thing a fact. Their interpretation will go along with the observation. They might observe the fact that a miniature black hole can be created, but they interpret that fact to mean the universe is infinitely old. And that's the meaning that they put on the observation. And to be fair, as Christians, we do this too. 5 people can read the same Bible verse and come up with 5 different interpretations of it. So I say with science, just like with religion, it's perfectly acceptable to replace someone else's interpretation with our own. This, of course, should be done carefully through study to make sure that we're making informed decisions about our beliefs, but we're not required to take anybody's word for anything. Just because a physicist says that this experiment means this thing, we should look into that ourselves to find out, is he stating a fact or an opinion, And just like we do, or we should do with our religious leaders, our pastors at church, even me, if you're getting any kind of spiritual guidance from my books or all the stuff that I put out there, great, but check me out. Make sure you compare what I'm saying against the Word of God, because I'm just human. I'm not anything special, so I could be wrong on stuff too. So we should treat everything like that. And of course, we need to be open to reproof if new information comes along that contradicts our previous ideas. So basically, we can all agree on observations. We can all at least see the same thing, but we don't, nor should we, have to all agree on the meaning of that observation. So then the question comes up, if they are able to open a miniature black hole that leads to a higher dimension, could this be the key to opening the bottomless pit of Revelation? Simple answer, I don't know. Before physicists started seriously talking about creating black holes and developing new theories on how to do it, I would have thought that it would be impossible, according to our current level of technology. I mean, really, the sheer energy it would take to open an interdimensional portal and then stabilize it and then grow it on the macro level to something we could actually see and keep it stabilized, that would have seemed ridiculous to me. But now, with these newly developed ideas, I can no longer stay completely skeptical about the possibility. I wouldn't want to say that it's impossible, then they find a way to do it, and then I'm left not being able to provide anyone with information that they can use in trying to interpret that event. So I'll say it's possible. What I can say for sure is Bible prophecy talks about a time when the abyss will be open, and horrifying, potentially extra-dimensional beings will come out into our world. And for more information on that, you can check out my book Cherubim Chariots at ministryministry.com. Now we're told that an angel is given the key to the abyss, and it's the angel who opens it. So there are some that would read that and say there's no human, there's nothing human going on there. There's no human interaction. It's an angel that's given the keys. And remember, in the beginning of Revelation, we learned that Jesus has the keys of death and hell. So it seems like Jesus is giving permission to this angel to open the bottomless, the bottomless pit or the abyss. Um, but anything really beyond that, it's pure speculation. I believe it's wise to at least keep our options open. And for now, at least, we can keep our interpretations a bit broad. We should have some humility and know that we don't know everything, and our ideas might not always be the right ones. There's other interpretations to consider. So we can be a bit broad, but we need to keep focus on the actual observation, on what the passage actually says. So we know what will happen. We know that the abyss is going to be opened somehow, and that an angel is involved, and it has permission from God to do this, and but the actual how is still up for discussion because we're just not given those details. So, I mean, that's it. I'd love to know what you think. Leave a comment in the description below, and subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, if you like talking about these types of things, go ahead and subscribe. We cover all sorts of things here. So, but yeah, that would be great. So leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Check out the links below, and thank you for watching. Take care and God bless.